Hello friends, today we will study an overview of oral tissue. Our oral cavity contains two types of tissue, soft tissue and hard tissue. Soft tissue includes lining mucosa of mouth and the salivary gland. Hard tissue includes bone of jaws and the tooth. Now we will study the tooth structure. Tooth structure. Tooth is divided into two parts. The crown part or called crown portion and the root part or root portion. The crown part. And the crown part is again divided into two portions. The clinical crown and the anatomical crown. Clinical crown. Clinical crown as shown in the picture, the crown which is visible in the oral cavity. From the gingiva to the cusp height, it is called clinical crown. Anatomical crown. Anatomical crown, the actual crown which is covered by enamel from the alveolar bone to the cusp height. This is anatomical crown. Crown, the outermost part of the crown, this is very hard structure, is called enamel. The root portion, the invisible part of the tooth in the healthy gum, in the person with healthy gum, is called root. The outermost structure, outermost hard tissue of the root is cementum. The tooth is present in the alveolar bone socket, and the tooth suspended in the alveolar bone socket with the help of pedial fibers, which is also called periodontal ligaments. And the supporting tissue which supports the tooth is called periodontium. And periodontium includes cementum, pedial and alveolar bone. Cementum, as I said, outermost hard structure which covered the root part of the tooth is called cementum. Pedial, which connect the tooth and alveolar bone, which held the tooth in the alveolar bone socket, is called pedial, and the alveolar bone. Now, pulp, the soft tissue, the innermost portion present in both crown and root, is called pulp. And one more structure which is present in both crown and root part, called dentine. The structure present between pulp and enamel in crown portion, dentine. And the dentine is also present in the root in between pulp and the cementum. So just take a overlook. Tooth structure, tooth, crown portion, root portion, crown, two parts, anatomical crown and clinical crown. Anatomical crown overall part of the crown which is covered with enamel from gingiva to cusp height. Clinical crown, crown which is visible in the oral cavity, clinical crown. Root, the invisible part in person with healthy gum, is root portion. Crown, the outermost hard tissue of the crown is called enamel. The crown is covered with enamel. The outermost hard part of the root is cementum. Root is covered with cementum. The tooth is suspended in the alveolar bone socket with the help of PDL fibers, which is also called periodontal ligaments. The soft tissue, the tissue which is present both in root and crown, called pulp. Dentin, dentin is present in between pulp and enamel in crown and in between pulp and cementum in root. Gingiva, the soft tissue which covered the crown portion and some part of root portion, is gingiva. And alveolar bone, the bone in which tooth is suspended, is called alveolar bone. And the socket in which, the bone socket in which tooth is suspended is called alveolar bone socket. Thank you.